Homeschooled? Yeah, I was homeschooled for a couple of months in 2020. It's not that great, honestly. Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh! Wow! Okay.
Keep the name homeschool out of your mouth!
It's a homeschool joke.
Keep the name homeschool out of your mouth!
It's just a video of homeschool jokes. That's all this is gonna be.
Thanks for watching Blimey Cow. This episode is sponsored by Unbound and made possible by viewers like you.
You might be a homeschooler if you're on a first-name basis with the owner of your local Chick-fil-A.
You might be a homeschooler if you need 2 hands to count your siblings.
You might be a homeschooler if your friends have all dated like 10 people already. Meanwhile, you've had the same crush since you were 15.
If your librarian never enforced a book limit on your family.
If it legitimately blew your mind the first time you met someone who didn't like their siblings. Like how?
If you've taken the 16 personalities test more than 16 times, you might be a homeschooler.
You might be a homeschooler if you hated sex and math growing up, but now you see it as a flex, especially on the Abeka plebs.
You might be a homeschooler if you never actually had a boyfriend or girlfriend in high school, but you were the person that everyone came to for dating advice.
You might be a homeschooler if you're slowly starting to realize why that one family you knew growing up didn't have social security numbers.
If you don't even know what Coke tastes like, but your mom says it's like Zevia, but not as good.
If you've ever planned a field trip to the Hoover Darn.
If your therapist growing up was actually Tyler Joseph.
If you've already signed up for homeschoolwithus.com, you might be a homeschooler.
You might be a homeschooler if your life dream is to be self-sustaining and you are well on your way. You're still just trying to figure out how a Tesla fits within the electricity situation. Because you really want one.
You might be a homeschooler if getting one of your jokes onto an episode of this show has always been a lifelong dream. You did it, Landon!
You might be a homeschooler if you've ever had this conversation.
Yeah, I was homeschooled for a little while and it was terrible.
That was not homeschooling.
It was a straight up prison.
It was a lockdown.
You might be a homeschooler if employers like you a lot because you can work during school hours.
If you don't really know what to say when people ask if you have any pets. Like, are chickens pets? Because if they are, I've got like 35 pets. Even if not, I've got 3.
If you know Frankenstein was the name of the scientist and not the monster because you actually read the book.
If you also know that Dr. Frankenstein was the actual monster because you understood the book, you might be a homeschooler.
You might be a homeschooler if you recognize the voice of the doctor at the end of the Brother Time episode, Delayed Thinking.
You might be a homeschooler if you mark your childhood not by grades, but by your hobbies and obsessions. The Beanie Baby phase, the leatherworking phase, the quilting, sewing, cross-stitching, crocheting, knitting, costuming phases.
You might be a homeschooler if you couldn't help but watch that Lord of the Rings teaser trailer, even though you know beyond a shadow of a doubt that it is going to be straight trash. I mean, this has been going on for years now, and you're still disappointed about it every single day.
If you are still triggered to this very day when you see a word problem, they always remind you, looks like daddy's home.
If you make your own clothes.
If you overthink every step of dating.
If you're still watching these 10 years later, you might have a child now. And you're a true blue homeschooler.
Stay tuned for Uncensored. You might be a homeschooler.
If you're planning to do college, you need to do it right. You need to get plugged in with a strong community that's going to help you figure out how to use your education in the real world. Unbound is a Christian, project-based education company that specializes in teaching students in high school and college just that. So instead of getting stuck with all the debt, irrelevant experience, and craziness of college, check out the Ascend program by Unbound. They provide students with the hands-on experience, skill development, coaching, and network they need to apply what they learned through high school and beyond in the real world. All while you're pursuing an accredited bachelor's degree through one of Unbound's 6 partner schools. If this sounds intriguing to you, you owe it to yourself to get more info. This is an intense program, but it's definitely worth it. Enrollment is currently open for the fall, starting at just $8,750. But the price goes up $250 April 1st. You can save an additional $125 on enrollment by booking your free consultation with the Unbound team by April 8th. Visit beunbound.us/BlimeyCow to sign up for a free series on how project-based education is changing the college conversation for young adults, and book your call today. Again, that's beunbound.us/BlimeyCow. Thanks.
You might be a homeschooler if you knew for a fact that I said floople. You might be a homeschooler if the only reason you were able to get that joke squeezed into a video of what happened the night before is because you didn't have schoolwork to do today. This was your schoolwork, was filming videos with your family. You might be a homeschooler.